I'd just like to share with you the good news that's happening here at the World Trade Center. We're holding the second National Congress of the Clergy. It started last Monday, January 25, up to Friday, January 29. But we are now 2 days and a half of the Congress, and yet uh, the Spirit is working so awesomely in this gathering of more than 5,500 priests. We never imagined we could gather so many priests in one event, in one roof, because now the World Trade Center has become known to be the home of clergy congresses. The first one was also held here in July of 2004. At that time, Cardinal Rosales called that event, which was also the first time that so many priests were gathered, no? He called that event History and Grace because it gathered for the first time 4,000 priests, no? For a one-week Congress. But the Lord, because in the beginning when we were organizing the first Congress Clergy, the Cardinal said he would be happy with 2,000 priests coming. But the Lord sent 4,000. And this time, Cardinal Rosales again said he'd be happy if we could just equal those 4,000 coming again to the second Clergy Congress. But the Lord sent over 5,000. So, the Lord really cannot be outdone in generosity. His faithfulness, which is the theme of the Congress, the faithfulness of Christ, I am sure will be very fruitful in also bringing up the measure of the faithfulness of the priests, no? And when the priests are faithful, it follows also that the lay people become also more faithful, no? So, yung renewal, the renewal that we would like to happen in our country, especially in these times of so much stress, so much bad news, I would say, that something like this happens, some good news like this happens, will lift up the hope of our people to really become one in pushing the saving act of the Lord. You know, the speaker that we invited for this Congress, which is turning out to be a retreat par excellence for the priests, is Father Raniero Cantalamessa, a Franciscan Capuchin, who is the preacher of the papal household. To explain his value, he is the only one who can preach to the Pope. The only one, no? The Pope listens. He preaches all the Fridays of Advent and all the Fridays of Lent, no? The Pope and his household, also members of the Roman Curia, the Cabinet of the Holy Father, every week get the reflection and meditation topics from Father Raniero Cantalamessa. And oh, how I wish all of you could be here to listen to him. It's really the fullness of the Spirit that you feel he exudes, not only in his words, but also in his very aura. And there is no doubt, I have no doubts that God, who is love and who loves his priests very much, will see to it that something good will happen in each of these 5,502 priests, no? That they can also multiply the fruits that they have experienced here to the communities that they shepherd. So, it's interesting. Sometimes for us organizers, by the way, I am a servant leader or chairperson of the Second National Congress of the Clergy Central Coordinating Committee. And this is being convened by the CBCP, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, particularly Cardinal Gaudencio Rosales, whose main objective is really to uplift the priests, no? To make the priests always new in the way they value their vocation and in the way they treat their ministry, that they really become priests after the Lord's heart, no? Because it is the Holy Father in declaring the special year for priests, 2009 June to 2009 19 June 2009 to 19 June 2010, really meant this year to be a year for the priests to rediscover their love affair with the Lord, no? That loving relationship between Jesus and his priests becomes incarnate, because the way Father Cantalamessa calls it, Jesus Christ is the humanization, the incarnation of God who is love. That the love of God, which is a person, becomes alive in Jesus Christ for us. And our priests, being representatives of Christ, alter Christus, must also be that humanity, that human form of the love of God for us, so that we in turn can be the human form of God's love to each other. Para yun yung bang pag nagtapon kayo ng bato sa ilog, di ba makikita nyo yung ripple, yung pabilog-bilog, yung epekto ng batong yon. Ganon din po yon. Yung pagmamahal ng Panginoon, it goes in circles, no? And so that each one of us, touched by that love, becomes love to one another. And that would be a very wonderful miracle in the Philippines, especially now when there is so much hardship, when there is so much heavy load of corruption bearing on us, no? That now the Filipinos are being known as the most corrupt country in Asia, 11th in the world. We need some good news like this to happen, to show that we Filipinos are capable of something good, of something like another 1986 EDSA miracle, no? That peaceful people power revolution that is for which the Philippines is the original source, no? That we can do something bright and beautiful again for each of ourselves and for our country as a whole. And it can happen, and it will happen if we, together with our shepherds, who are themselves finding back their way to the Lord here, if we also walk the path leading to the Lord, because always that path leads to our own salvation. So I beg all of you out there, no? Even if it's really not a joke to come up with logistics, no? To prepare for something as big as this. Imagine 5,500 people that you're feeding morning, noon, and night for 5 days, housing them even, many of them providing transportation to transfer them here back to their host families or to wherever they're staying. It is I would call giant operations. But then, when the Spirit takes care of you, you are happy doing it, no? Because life in God is a happy life, is a joyful life. And I hope that this joy will also be experienced by all of you. And it can only happen when our desire, when our love and our life is Christ. So I invite you all to be one with the Congress of the Clergy in prayer, in spirit, and in action, so that the life of Christ we live in our own lives and we share for the lives of others.